Hello, my name is Furrh. I'm a master tutor in Heartland Community College's tutoring services. In this video, we will answer 3 questions. What is the purpose of the thesis statement? What is the best way to develop a thesis statement? And after it is written, what should the finished thesis statement look like? The purpose of the thesis statement is twofold. First, the thesis statement concludes the first paragraph of the paper, in which the topic of the paper has been introduced. Second, the thesis statement reveals to the reader what will be proven in the argumentative essay. The thesis statement does not include evidence, nor does it give examples. It is simply a statement that can be proven. The best way to approach the thesis statement is through a question. A meaningful essay should inform the reader, should exhibit critical thinking to challenge the reader, and consequently should be based on a critical question. For example, an author might ask, was it moral, ethical, or even legal for the United States government to force Japanese Americans into internment camps during World War II? That author could write a number of different thesis statements in an attempt to answer that question. For example, the thesis statement might read, foreigners should always be treated with suspicion during a time of war. Is this a good thesis to answer the question? No, it is too vague and mentions nothing about the Japanese, internment camps, World War II, or the United States. A thesis statement should be concise and should tell the reader what will be argued in the paper. Another example could be, in my paper, I will prove that the Japanese deserved to be put in prison camps in World War II because they attacked Pearl Harbor. There are a number of problems with this thesis. First, a formal essay should never contain a first-person reference to the author. Next, the reader does not need to be told the paper is a proof. A well-reasoned argument makes that obvious to the reader. Finally, the vague reference to the Japanese leaves the reader in doubt as to whether the author means Japanese soldiers or civilians, and whether those civilians live in the United States, Japan, or elsewhere. A better way to write a thesis which answers the research question is, while it may not have been moral, ethical, or even legal for the United States government to force Japanese Americans into internment camps during World War II, it was necessary to protect American industry, agriculture, and commerce from possible sabotage by Japanese spies. Note that a portion of the research question was incorporated into the thesis. In addition, the counter-argument that the internment may have been immoral, unethical, or illegal is acknowledged and set up to be discussed later. Finally, the statement leaves no doubt as to where the author stands on this issue. The author believes the internment of Japanese Americans was justified to protect the home front, and will prove this point in the body of the paper. Note that in its final form, the thesis statement should be as short as possible and concise. It should not contain evidence, nor should it include examples. It should be a simple statement. One sentence, not 2 or more, and it should be the last sentence of the first paragraph of the essay. In the end, it is important to remember 3 things. First, the purpose of the thesis statement is to tell the reader what the paper will prove. Second, the development of the thesis should begin with a question. And finally, the statement should be short and to the point. A good thesis statement will convince the reader to keep going beyond the introduction and to read the entire essay. Thank you for watching this video. Please contact Tutoring Services for additional help with your thesis statement.